Hello friends, this is Deepak Kumar, Assistant Professor in Kite Group of Institution Ghaziabad. In this lecture, we will discuss the 8086 registers organizations. So, we are generally discuss the general registers, index register, segment registers, pointer register and status register in this particular lecture. So now we will start with the first one, that is your general register. So as I told you that whenever we are using the internal architecture of 8086 microprocessor, so the execution unit basically have some general purpose registers, that is your accumulator register, that is your base register, count register and data registers. So all these registers are basically of 16 bits. All these registers is of 16 bits. So these 16 bits information is divided into two parts, that is 0 to 7, that is your lower half part, that is represented as AL if we are talking about A, and this is your upper half part, that is from 8 to 50. Here we have 8 bits. So that is known as upper part, that is AH. Okay. So this is basically your accumulator registers, and it is basically used to store the result in 8086 microprocessor. So next one is your BX register, that is known as base register. It basically contains the offset values through which we actually find out the base content of a particular segment, and after using this particular segment address and this offset address, we actually find out the memory address. So this is also divided into two parts, that is BL and BH. If you are talking about AX, that means we are talking about total 16 bits information of A, all 16 bits. If we are talking about AL, that means we are talking about lower half 8 bits. If we are talking about AH, that is your upper half 8 bits. Okay. In the same way, if we are talking about CX, so CX is basically your count register, again divided into two halves, so that is CH and CL. It is also used to, it is basically used as a counter registers. So next one is the data register, which actually holds the data informations. So DX is of 16 bits. If we are storing 16 bits data, then it is considered as 6DX. If we are talking about lower half 8 bits information, then it is your DL. And if you are talking about upper 8 bits information, then it is your DH. So these are your general purpose register. In execution unit, we have some index register also, that is your source index register and destination index register. Actually, when we are talking about memory, so memory have different segments, that is your code segment, then we have data segment, okay, then we have stack segment, then we have extra segment. These are different segments we have memory. So this source index basically intimate this stack segment, and this destination index basically implement this extra segment. Okay, so this is basically your representation of index register. Then next one is your segment register. So as I told you that we have code segment register, we have data segment register, we have stack segment register, we have extra segment register. All these register is of 16 bits. All these registers basically store the 16 bits information. Okay. So code segment register basically intimate the code segment address. Data segment register basically intimate the data segment registers. Okay, in memory, what is the address of data segment, what is the address of stack segment, what is the address of extra segment. All these information is basically identified via segment registers. Now we have some instruction pointer registers also, some pointers registers, that are instruction pointer registers, base pointer registers and stack pointer registers. These pointer registers are also used along with the code, along with the segment registers, and with the help of these segment registers and pointer registers, we actually identify the memory address, or we can say that the physical address. The size of physical address is your 20 bits. Okay, because here the size of memory is 1 MB. That means for accessing this 1 MB information, 20 bits information is required. While if you are talking about these registers, that is pointer register or segment register or index register, all these register is of 16 bits. So how these 16 bits informations can be identified, can be converted into 20 bits information. So here we have formula, that is physical address is equal to, that is your segment address multiplied by 10h. We just multiply the 10h, that is in hexadecimal, to the segment address, and then we add the offset value, that is your offset. Okay, and the size of offset is of 16 bits. So we just multiply the segment address, the segment register's content to the 10h, and then we generally add this offset. Offset is what? Offset may be your instruction pointer, maybe BP, maybe SP, or maybe your source index register, or maybe your destination index register content. So these are basically your offset value. So when we add this information, then we finally get 20 bits physical address, and with the help of this 20 bits physical address, we can access the memory. Now the next one is your flag register. In 8085 we have total 5 flags, and the size of flag register is of 8 bits. While in 8086 the size of flag register is of 16 bits. Okay, out of these 16 bits, bit 1, bit 3, bit 5, and bit 12, 13, 14, 15, these bits are unspecified. Okay, and the remaining bits are basically used. And this flag register is basically divided into two parts. The first one is your conditional flag register, conditional control flags, and the next one is your machine control flags. Machine control flags. If we are talking about conditional flags, then in conditional flags we have carry flag, we have parity flag, we have auxiliary carry flag, we have zero flag, we have sign flag, and we have overflow flag. Okay, so all these informations are basically come under this conditional flag. Okay, and the remaining all will be considered as that is your TF, that is trap flag, interrupt flag, and direction flag. These three flags comes under your machine flags. Okay, so if we are talking about this one, carry flag, if the bit value is 1, so that means there is a carry. If this value is 1, that means the microprocessor basically considering the even parity flag. AF means auxiliary carry flag, that means when we perform addition of two numbers, then we have an auxiliary carry. ZF basically represents the zero result flag. SF basically represents the sign flag. If it is 1, then the sign is negative. If it is 0, then the sign is positive. And next one is your overflow flag. What does it mean? That means when we perform the operations and we want to add the result to the destination, then the result cannot be stored to the destination, or we can say that the size of destination is lower. That means, let's suppose we perform addition of two numbers, and we will get the 17 bits information. So this 17 bits information is not stored to the 16 bit register. Okay, so that's why it will be considered as the overflow flag. Okay, in the same way we have machine control flags. So in machine control flag we have trap flag, we have interrupt flag, and we have direction flag. So what do you mean by trap flag? In trap flag, the microprocessor basically comes under one step execution mode. Okay, so we are just talking about this one, and the conditional flag and machine control flag. And in machine control flag we have a trap flag, interrupt flag, and direction flag. In trap flag, what's going on? Trap flag basically in this particular case the microprocessor will move into a single execution mode. So what does it mean, single execution mode? In single execution mode, one instruction is executed, and then this trap routine will be called. Okay, that is actually the meaning of one step execution. In interrupt flag, if the value of IF is 1, then it means that all the maskable interrupts has been accepted, otherwise the maskable interrupt has been ignored. That is the meaning of this interrupt flag. Direction flag is basically used in string manipulation instructions. So let's suppose if you are reading a particular strings, and if we are reading it from lower address to the upper address, that is from lower significant address to the upper significant address, then its value will be 1. And if we are using auto decremented mode, that means we are just reading the characters from higher address to the lower address, then it is known as auto decremented mode, and here the value of direction flag is equal to 0. So that is actually your flag registers informations in 8086. So these are the references for this lecture. Thank you so much.